Have you ever wondered what hidden burdens people carry that lead them down a harmful path? In Buddhism, the focus isn't on bad people, but on the mental states that drive harmful actions and cause suffering. Today, we'll explore the metaphorical items that Buddhism teaches these individuals carry: ignorance, greed, jealousy, and more. Join us as we uncover how these mental poisons affect our lives and relationships, and how understanding them can lead us toward peace and compassion. The three poisons of ignorance, attachment, and aversion are at the core of Buddhist teachings on the causes of suffering and how harmful behaviors arise. These mental states not only cloud judgment, but create cycles of suffering known as samsara, that trap individuals in repetitive, unfulfilling actions. By understanding these poisons and their effects, individuals can begin to break free from these cycles and work toward greater compassion, wisdom, and inner peace. 1. Ignorance. Ignorance, avidya, is considered the root poison as it clouds an individual's understanding of reality itself. In Buddhism, reality is seen as interdependent and impermanent, with no fixed, separate self, anatta. However, ignorance fosters the illusion of a permanent, individual self, creating a mental barrier to recognizing interconnectedness. This misunderstanding often leads to self-centeredness, prioritizing one's desires and fears over consideration for others. For instance, ignorance might cause a person to pursue success at any cost, unaware of how their actions affect the world around them. This lack of insight perpetuates suffering as individuals become trapped in cycles of dissatisfaction, continually seeking fulfillment in things that are, by nature, fleeting. Attachment, desire. Attachment, raga, also known as desire or craving, is the second poison and is rooted in a longing to possess or hold on to things. When people experience pleasure or success, attachment draws them to cling to these moments, people or objects, hoping to secure lasting happiness. However, because everything is impermanent, attachment leads to disappointment and frustration when things inevitably change. An attachment to wealth, for example, can make a person blind to the needs of others, prompting them to exploit people or resources to amass more. This behavior not only leads to personal suffering, but can ripple outward, creating harm in society and the environment. Buddhism encourages the cultivation of non-attachment, recognizing and appreciating life's transience rather than clinging to it. 3. Aversion, hatred. Aversion, dvesha, which includes feelings of anger, resentment, and hatred, is the third poison. Aversion arises when individuals encounter things they dislike or perceive as threats. Rather than seeing challenges or differences as opportunities for growth, people who harbor aversion push away, resist, or even attack what they perceive as negative. This mental state fuels prejudice, aggression, and other harmful behaviors, leading individuals to act cruelly or unjustly. For example, an aversive mindset might prompt someone to hold grudges or seek revenge, which ultimately harms both the person holding the aversion and their target. Buddhism teaches that by cultivating patience and understanding, individuals can transform aversion, allowing compassion to replace resentment. Breaking free from the three poisons, ignorance, attachment, and aversion, requires consistent effort and self-awareness. Buddhist practices like meditation cultivate a deeper understanding of the mind, allowing individuals to observe these mental states as they arise. For example, through mindfulness meditation, one can become aware of how attachment manifests as craving, or how aversion shows up as resentment or irritation. Observing these states without judgment weakens their hold, making it easier to respond with compassion and wisdom instead of impulsively reacting. Ethical living, rooted in the principles of the Eightfold Path, also plays a crucial role in reducing these poisons. Practicing right action, speech, and livelihood fosters habits that are beneficial to oneself and others, gradually replacing harmful patterns with wholesome ones. Cultivating kindness and generosity counters attachment, helping individuals find fulfillment in giving rather than accumulating. Likewise, patience and empathy diminish aversion, encouraging understanding in the face of challenges. Through these practices, the three poisons gradually lose their influence. While the process may be gradual, each step taken in mindfulness and ethical behavior leads closer to freedom from suffering, helping individuals live with greater peace, compassion, and clarity. In Buddhism, greed is seen as a primary obstacle to spiritual growth, as it fuels attachment to external things and blinds individuals to the sufficiency of the present moment. Greed arises from a sense of inner emptiness, a belief that acquiring more will somehow fill this void. Yet, each attainment only increases craving for more, perpetuating a cycle that breeds restlessness and unhappiness. This relentless desire pulls individuals away from mindfulness, grounding them in a state of constant wanting rather than contentment. The effects of greed reach beyond the individual, impacting society and the environment. Hoarding resources, for example, leads to social inequalities, while unrestrained consumption depletes natural resources. Greed can also harm relationships, as people may use or manipulate others in pursuit of their desires. In this way, greed disrupts harmony and fosters suffering on a larger scale. Buddhism encourages the antidote of generosity, or dana, which counters greed by cultivating a spirit of giving and non-attachment. By practicing generosity, individuals experience the joy of giving and the freedom that comes from releasing attachments. In this way, they not only reduce personal suffering, but also contribute to a more compassionate and balanced world. In Buddhism, conceit is viewed as a deep-seated obstacle to personal growth and spiritual connection. It reinforces the illusion of a separate self, creating a sense of isolation and superiority that disrupts harmony. When people act from conceit, they may judge others harshly or dismiss the value and perspectives of those around them. This mindset closes the door to empathy, making it difficult to form genuine, meaningful connections. Conceit fosters a me versus them attitude, which often leads to conflicts, misunderstandings, and resentment. Conceit is also a barrier to learning and self-improvement. An arrogant person may reject constructive feedback or assume they have nothing left to learn, preventing them from seeing their own flaws or embracing new perspectives. This can lead to stagnation, as pride blinds individuals to the benefits of humility and growth. To counter conceit, Buddhism emphasizes humility, self-reflection, and recognizing the interconnectedness of all beings. Through meditation and mindfulness practices, individuals can observe how thoughts of superiority arise and begin to let go of them. Cultivating humility helps dismantle the ego, opening the way to greater compassion and wisdom. By releasing the illusion of superiority, individuals move closer to a state of peace and understanding, both within themselves and with others. In Buddhism, jealousy and envy are viewed as mental afflictions that arise from the mistaken belief in a fixed self and the illusion of separateness. When individuals compare themselves to others and feel they fall short, envy plants seeds of dissatisfaction and resentment, leading to suffering. This comparison-based mindset is rooted in ignorance. as it fails to recognize that each person's journey is unique, shaped by different conditions and karma. Rather than finding contentment in their own path, envious individuals become trapped in a cycle of insecurity and hostility. Jealousy can also distort one's perception of others, creating a sense of rivalry where there is none. This perspective fuels divisive actions, such as gossip, lies, or even sabotage, all aimed at diminishing others to feel superior by comparison. Buddhism teaches that envy's real harm is not just in the negative actions it produces, but in how it prevents individuals from appreciating their own lives. To counter jealousy, Buddhist teachings encourage the practice of mudita, or sympathetic joy, which involves celebrating others' success as if it were one's own. By cultivating joy in others' happiness and achievements, individuals can break free from envy's grasp, finding inner peace and a renewed appreciation for their own unique path. In Buddhism, deceit and hypocrisy are seen as barriers to inner peace and genuine connection. By distorting reality, individuals who engage in deception cultivate mistrust and separation, both within themselves and with others. Lying or presenting a false image may provide temporary gains, like avoiding conflict or enhancing one's status. But these benefits are fleeting, leaving deeper consequences in their wake. Deceit creates a tangled web of falsehoods that eventually leads to more lies, as one must continually cover up their tracks, trapping them in a cycle of dishonesty and stress. This falseness prevents individuals from aligning with their true selves, as they are constantly presenting a facade. In Buddhism, truthfulness is part of right speech within the Eightfold Path, highlighting that honesty is crucial for spiritual development. Truthfulness fosters authenticity, openness, and vulnerability, allowing individuals to connect with others on a deeper level. Deception, by contrast, leads to isolation, as others sense inauthenticity and grow wary. To break free from deceit, Buddhism encourages introspection and a commitment to truthful, compassionate communication. Practicing honesty, even in difficult situations, fosters trust and inner clarity, allowing individuals to live with integrity. By embracing truth, one can dismantle barriers created by deceit, opening the path to self-acceptance, genuine relationships, and lasting peace. In Buddhism, ignoble speech is recognized as one of the most potent ways individuals can create harm and perpetuate suffering, both for themselves and others. Words carry great power. They shape relationships, influence perceptions, and impact mental well-being. Ignoble speech includes lying, gossiping, harsh criticism, and verbal aggression, each a form of communication that strays from compassion and respect. Buddhism highlights the importance of right speech, a core aspect of the Eightfold Path, which advocates for speech that promotes harmony, truthfulness, and kindness. By adhering to right speech, individuals can foster positive relationships and create a more peaceful environment for themselves and others. People who engage in harmful speech create a ripple effect that disrupts harmony, both in their personal lives and within their communities. For instance, gossip and slander can erode trust and foster hostility among friends, family, and co-workers. Lies and deception distort reality, preventing clear understanding and often leading to misunderstandings and conflicts. Verbal aggression, whether in the form of insults or sarcastic remarks, can leave lasting scars on others, damaging self-esteem and contributing to a culture of negativity. In each of these cases, ignoble speech creates emotional and psychological harm, which in turn generates negative karma for the speaker. According to Buddhism, the karmic consequences of ignoble speech are significant. Every act of harmful communication creates mental residue known as samskara that weighs on the speaker's mind. This residue fuels cycles of suffering as individuals trapped in negative speech patterns find themselves increasingly alienated, mistrusted, or surrounded by hostility. In Buddhist thought, karma is not just about punishment, but about the natural outcomes of one's actions. Those who engage in ignoble speech often experience its negative repercussions, such as strained relationships, loneliness, and inner turmoil. Over time, these effects prevent individuals from attaining true peace or happiness, as they are caught in cycles of anger, resentment, or guilt. Practicing right speech involves mindfulness and self-discipline, as it requires individuals to consider their words carefully before speaking. Buddhism encourages communication that meets 4 criteria: truthfulness, kindness, constructiveness, and appropriateness. For example, even when speaking the truth, one should do so gently and at the right time, ensuring that the words uplift rather than harm. This approach to speech cultivates mindfulness and empathy as individuals learn to listen more carefully and respond with compassion. By following these principles, individuals can break free from the habitual tendencies that lead to harmful speech, ultimately creating a more positive and harmonious environment. Another essential aspect of right speech is the idea of noble silence. Buddhism teaches that sometimes the most compassionate response is silence. When faced with gossip or negativity, choosing not to participate can prevent further harm and create a space for calm and reflection. Silence, when applied skillfully, can be a powerful tool for peace, allowing individuals to break the cycle of harmful speech and create room for understanding and growth. In Buddhism, harmful people do not carry physical items, but rather mental burdens such as ignorance, attachment, aversion, greed, arrogance, envy, deceit, and ignoble speech. Each of these poisons darkens the mind, leading to behavior that reinforces cycles of suffering. However, Buddhism also teaches that everyone has the potential for transformation. By recognizing and addressing these mental afflictions, individuals can gradually free themselves from their hold, allowing qualities like compassion, wisdom, and mindfulness to flourish. Letting go of ignoble speech and embracing right speech is a powerful step toward creating a life of peace and kindness. Ultimately, Buddhist teachings offer hope for anyone willing to work toward change. By choosing mindful and compassionate speech, individuals can contribute to their own happiness and to the well-being of those around them. In this way, the path toward enlightenment is open to all, as even small shifts in one's words and actions can lead to profound spiritual growth. Thanks for joining us on this journey into Buddhist teachings about the mental burdens that can lead to harmful actions. Remember, Buddhism teaches that none of us are bound by these poisons. We each have the power to recognize, release, and transform them. With mindfulness and compassion, we can identify the qualities within ourselves that cause suffering and consciously choose paths that lead to peace and harmony instead. In this way, each step we take toward understanding and self-awareness is a step toward a more liberated, joyful life. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with others who may benefit, and subscribe for more insights into mindfulness and inner peace. Every time we engage with these ideas, we remind ourselves of the values we aim to nurture, creating ripple effects of positivity in our lives and communities. Your support also helps us continue to create content that fosters growth, healing, and deeper awareness for everyone on their unique spiritual journey. As we continue exploring these topics, we invite you to take small, mindful steps in your everyday life. Whether it's practicing right speech, showing compassion toward others, or finding moments of gratitude. These small actions add up, bringing us closer to a life aligned with wisdom and kindness. Together, let's cultivate a community of mindfulness, learning, and support. Thank you again for watching. Until next time, stay mindful and stay inspired. Each moment offers a fresh chance to embrace peace and compassion. May your journey be filled with insight, balance, and joy.